What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Master Duel Fiendsmith Horus deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Meli. And this deck is an extremely powerful deck to play on Master Duel now that we finally have the Fiendsmith cards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. And definitely give Meli some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Imseti. Imseti is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card instantly gets you to your copy of King Sarcophagus, which we need for all the Horus names in this build. This card has the ability you can send this card and another card from your hand to the graveyard to be able to add King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, and then you also get to draw a card, and all of our Horus names in this build actually can special summon themselves back from the graveyard to your side of the field while you control King Sarcophagus. We then play a single copy of Happy. Happy is really good as a 1-of in the build just to be able to summon back to your side of the field so you can make rank 8 plays, but this card is amazing in the build as a 1-of. We then play a single copy of Blessing of Horus. This card is amazing as a 1-of because this card gets absolutely massive on your side of the field because it actually gains 1200 attack and defense for each Horus monster that you control, which is a crazy powerful deck because this card can go all the way up to 4800 in this build. We then play a single copy of Protection of Horus. This card is really good just as a 1-of name in the build because you can actually use the effect of King Sarcophagus up to 4 times per turn to help you get your Horus names into the graveyard, and all of them can bring themselves back from the graveyard to your side of the field, making it very easy to make rank 8 plays or link summon into the exact cards that you need. We then play 2 copies of Fiendsmith Engraver. Fiendsmith is insane in this build, one of the most powerful engines we've ever seen. But this card is really good in the deck to be able to discard this card to add a Fiendsmith spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can also target a Fiendsmith equipped card that you control and a monster on the field and send them to the graveyard. And if this card's in the grave, you can actually shuffle one of their like fiend monster from your grave into the deck or the X deck, and then special summon this card back to your side of the field, which is a crazy powerful effect just to instantly get this card back to your side of the field. Well, this card is amazing because you can actually search out Fiendsmith Tract, which is such a powerful card to grab off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Lurie. Lurie is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is a card you want to search off of Fiendsmith Tract, so you can discard it and then bring it back to your side of the field, which is such a powerful ability to instantly bring this card back to your side of the field, so you can make Requiem and go full Fiendsmith combo. We then play 3 copies of Majesty's Fiend. Now this card is an extremely spicy tech card in this build because this card is actually a light fiend monster that's super easy to tribute summon to your side of the field since this deck doesn't really have a normal summon. This card is really good in the build as a 3-of because you can link it away to summon out your copy of Requiem since it is a light fiend monster, but the really cool thing about this card is this card can actually win games all on its own, because when this card is on your side of the field, monster effects cannot be activated. Period. Meaning from anywhere they cannot be activated, which is absolutely insane to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field by basically just tributing one of your Horus names so that you can go into your full Fiendsmith combo. But it's really good as a 3-of in the build, so you can normal summon it, go full Fiendsmith combo, or lock down the board with this card. We then play 2 copies of Kashtira Unicorn. The Kashtira engine is just really good in basically every deck, and this card is really good because it can special summon itself to your side of the field if you don't control a monster. Also, it can look at your opponent's extract and also banish a card from it face down if a monster effect is activated by your opponent or this card declares an attack. And also this card can search out Kashtira Birth, which brings back your monster to your side of the field over and over again, which is absolutely crazy. We then play a single copy of Fenrir. Fenrir is really good to help you spot remove cards off the field. It can special summon itself back to your side of the field if you don't control a monster, which is insane that you can just instantly bring this card out to your side of the field from your hand. And also it has an insane ability that you can add a Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand, which is a really powerful effect so you can search out your copy of Unicorn. We then play a single copy of Magnemite. Magnemite is just a really good hand trap, especially with Fiendsmith running around now. This card is really good because it's a level 6 monster, making it super easy to make rank 6 plays. But this card is really good in the deck to let you target a light or dark monster in either player's grave and banish it. If you do, special summon this card in your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. And if this card is special summoned, you actually get to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand during the end phase this turn, which is a great effect to instantly add the exact dragon monster you need, like a copy of Druid's Worm from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except a copy of Magnemite. We then play a single copy of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm's really good in the deck to help you spot remove cards off the field, and it's a great target to grab off your copy of Magnemite. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Molcharmy Fluros. This card is crazy powerful and Master Duel, and just a definite 3-of in the build to help us dig into the deck. We then also play 2 copies of Maxi. Maxi is currently at 2 in Master Duel, so you gotta play this card. It's absolutely insane alongside your copy of Fluros, basically guaranteeing that if you do go second, you're gonna be able to draw into the exact cards you need. And with this deck was playing so many insane engines in this build, it's a really powerful card in this deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is really good as a 1-of the build to basically stop cards like Imperm, Ash, even Maxi or Fluros, which is just really important to be able to do. And this card is amazing in the build as a 1-of. We then play 2 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 2-of in the build, basically just to stop your opponent's hand traps, just like your copy of Crossout Designator. We then play a single copy of Kashtira Birth. Kashtira Birth is searchable off your copy of Unicorn, and this card is amazing because you can normal summon a level 7 monster without tributing, and also during the main phase, you can special summon one of your non-XZ Kashtira monsters that's banished or in the graveyard, which is an insane ability to instantly bring back your copy of Unicorn or Fenrir to your side of the field, which is such a powerful effect. We then play 2 copies of Fiendsmith Track. I feel like 2 copies of Track is perfect in this deck, especially with Fiendsmith being currently at 2 in Master Duel upon release. And so this card actually makes up for the 3rd copy of Fiendsmith, so it's really good in the deck to be able to just add your copy of Lurie from your deck to your hand, and then discard it, and then go full Fiendsmith combo. So this card is really good in the deck as a 2-of, plus your copy of Fiendsmith can search this card. We then play 3 copies of King Sarcophagus. King Sarcophagus is definitely a 3-of in the build. Even though you can search this card off of M-SETI, you want to make sure that you can get to this card as quickly as possible so you can go with your Horus cards. And this card is the ability that Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects that do not target them, and also you get to send a card from your hand to the graveyard to send a Horus monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you use that effect up to 4 times per turn, making it super easy to get all of your Horus names in the graveyard, so you can just swarm the board and bring them all back to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Walls of the Imperial Tomb. Walls of the Imperial Tomb is really good as a 3-of in the build, because this card's name becomes King Sarcophagus while it's on the field, and also during your main phase, you can actually add a Horus monster from your deck to your hand, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, getting rid of cards that you really don't need, which is absolutely amazing. This card is just really good as a 3-of in the build to guarantee you're going to get into the Horus engine in this deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Cantopic Protector. Cantopic Protector is really good as a 1-of in the build, as this card is an insane ability that once per chain, when your opponent activates a card or effect, then you can special summon a Horus monster from your hand or your graveyard, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters with the same original name by the effect of Cantopic Protector. Also, if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can set this card but banish when it leaves the field, which is such a powerful ability to instantly get this card back on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build just to stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Requiem. Requiem is definitely a one-of in the build because this card has an insane effect that you can actually treat this card to special summon a Fiendsmith monster from your hand or deck, which is absolutely crazy how easy it is to bring out your Fiendsmith cards to your side of the field with Requiem's ability. We then play a single copy of Sequence. Sequence is really good to help you go over your copy of Desiree, and it's just an absolutely crazy powerful card to help you fusion summon to the exact Fiendsmith card you want, like your copy of Desiree or your copy of Lacrima. We then play a single copy of Moon of the Closed Heaven. This card is really good as a one-of build because any two monsters leads into your copy of Requiem, but you can use any two monsters in this deck to be able to make your copy of Moon, and then link it away for your copy of Requiem, and then go full Fiendsmith combo. We then play a single copy of SP. SP basically belongs in every single deck, and this card is really good to help you spot remove cards off the field, and it's a really good interruption. We then play a single copy of Desiree. Desiree is great in this deck. This card is a walking negate, and it's very easy to summon in this build. This card is absolutely broken and a really powerful boss monster to be able to make with your Fiendsmith package. We then play a single copy of Lacrima. Lacrima is crazy powerful in this build. It does burn damage, and it's really easy to bring out to your side of the field. And this card is just such a powerful card to be able to make in this deck. It's currently banned in the TCG, but in Master Duel we still have this card currently, which is absolutely crazy. It takes any two light fiend monsters to make it, and monsters your opponent control lose 600 attack points, and you can only use this card once per turn. And if this card is fusion summoned, you can actually target one of your light fiend monsters that's banished or in the graveyard and add it to your hand or special summon it, giving you 2 level 6s on your side of the field, so you can go in for rank 6 plays. And also, if this card is sent to the grave, you can actually shuffle one other light fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck or the extract, and then inflict 1200 points of damage to your opponent, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play a single copy of Beatrice. Beatrice is just insane, basically just send the exact card you need from your deck to the graveyard. And it's crazy that we still have Beatrice, even though that we had the Fiendsmith cards, but this card is really powerful in that I basically just use this card as a foolish burial. We then play a single copy of DDD Wave High King Caesar. This card is just a walking negate, actually a double negate, which is why I'm playing this card in this deck, but this card is absolutely broken with the Fiendsmith cards. Basically make this card going first to lock down your opponent. We then play a single copy of the Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire is just a foolish barrel for the top 4 cards of your deck and your opponent's deck, and then you can special summon a monster back to her side of the field. This card is amazing with the Horus engine, and it's just absolutely crazy powerful to get you cards in the graveyard and bring them back to your side of the field. We lay a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is a spell negate. One copy of number 90. Number 90 is great in this build to basically just use this card as a monster negate. So basically have the answer to anything that you need, from a spell negate to a monster negate, with both of these rank 8s. And my single copy of Coach King. Coach King is really good in this build as a one-of, and helps out a lot in this deck, just help us dig in the deck and also do burn damage to the opponent, because this card basically lets us draw 3, and also does 800 points of burn damage for every monster that you draw, so it can easily do 2400 points of burn damage to your opponent, which you cannot attack the turn you activate this effect, but it's really powerful to be able to make this card on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Dingirsu. Dingirsu is great to help you make your copy of Zeus, plus when it's summoned, it spot removes a card off the field, which is really good. We then play a single copy of Zeus. Zeus is amazing in this build to be able to make, because it just board wipes the field. And then finally play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is amazing in this deck as one of, just help you bounce cards off the field, and it's a skill drain for 3000 or higher attack point monsters. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played a Fiendsmith Horus deck before in Master Duel, you should definitely give this deck a try, because it's insane how powerful the Fiendsmith cards are, especially with us having cards like Lacrima and Beatrice still in Master Duel, which is absolutely insane. So, that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.